Hello, 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 hello. I'm hoping that you can see and hear me now. I figured out the transition thing after Fox started doing fading things. I found the menu item and I did it. I pressed it. Right, hello. I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. I'm sort of checking the side screens that I've got there, and things seem to be working at least a little bit, but you know, it's playing adverts and things at me, so I don't know. Hopefully I'm here and you can, you know, if you can't see me, let me know. Wait, that won't work. Somebody can let me know you can see and hear me. That would be the way to do it, I think. Yeah, that's the best bet. Then I can see what's what. Right, let's see. Fox says nice music fade. That's just me dragging the thing down to no volume and then pressing the right button to come back here again. It's clever stuff. Sound and vision is excellent, apparently. Oh, high praise indeed. Don't know if I can. I might as well just go home now. I can't better that. If Fox has said it's excellent. First time he's ever said anything's excellent. Right, let's have a look through the chat and see what we got. First thing was indeed Modern Waking Guru, Fox himself. He said boobs. And then he banned himself. And then he disappeared for a little while. I think he might have actually banned himself. I'm not sure. Then we've got Tyronian, Dad, Mark Scale Model, Osric, Borry Models, and Spid is in. He's in at the beginning. He was in at the beginning of the last one as well. I don't know what's going on here. It's all gone hideously wrong. If Spiddy Q8's in early for 2 streams in a row, I don't know. He's probably just not going to turn up at all to E-Models tomorrow night. Right. Handy hint, have the live dashboard open, it confirms the stream health. Yeah, I've got that. It's over there. I can see it, but it still means very little to me. Yeah, it just shows me things now, but it doesn't show me that it's actually going through on the other end yet, because it's like a minute behind, isn't it? But yeah. Right. Oh, Reese is in, evening mate, and Meatballs and Bobbingtons. Everybody's here, lots of people. I like people, it's nice. It saves me standing, well, I still feel like I'm talking to myself because nobody's actually, you know, talking back to me. But I know you're here because I can see you. You're just over there. I know you can't see it yet, but you're over there, and I can see the text-ish. And Scott's in as well, see? I'm seeing people up here, you know. Right, this is Sunday night, so it's Warhamster time. Fox did his earlier, 3 o'clock one, and he very kindly didn't overrun into my time. He was going to do a 6-hour stream, but he forgot to start early. Then he thought he was going to carry on late, but then he realised that I was here, so he very kindly didn't overrun, because if I did, I know none of you lot would be here. Maybe one of you, but yeah. So, I'm here. This is the Dark Elder Raider, which I've painted, stuck bits together, and almost finished, I think. It's getting very close to being done. There's a little bit of touching up to do here and there. I'm decided I'm going to leave the bottom of it in the black, because it's quite nice. I obviously do need to do some weathering and stuff to it. I also need to do something with the engines. I looked at them at the end tonight and thought, oh yeah, I haven't touched them yet. You got the two that sort of move around a little bit, one either side, but they need something, just sort of engine colouring, painting things. So yeah. Fox says the dashboard has a big fat green line at the top, and it says your arse is streaming on the interwebs, or words to that effect. I'm going to look at it. It doesn't actually say that. I can't see what it says there. It just says that it's on. Think about it. Let me live. No, I can do live actions. That's your spinny wheel things and stuff. Is that the big thing, big line across the top that doesn't really say anything? It just says how many viewers you got and stuff. I don't know. I'm happy. It's working. You've told me it's working, and you wouldn't lie to me. So yeah. Today, I say I might do something with the engines a bit later on, but I'm going to move that to one side again for now. I do need to do the sort of washy thing on that as well, and obviously the sail, which I might do now. Actually, I'm going to pull the sail back off of it, because it's not glued in place yet. The sail is still there. I had a trip down to my local Warhammer store today, not today, sorry, this week, and picked up the 4 colours that it said I needed to do orange for the Taurox, there you go. Oh, he's saying the live YouTube thing now. Yeah, I'll worry about it later. I got the 4 that it said I needed in the app, and the one that someone else said that I needed, which I think was the Fire Dragon. I can't remember, it was one of them. But to do orange, apparently you need, you always need Agrax Earthshade. Apparently that's another one that I picked up anyway. Cassandora yellow, Fire Dragon bright, Troll Slayer orange, and Evil Sons scarlet. You know, it's evil because it's spelled with a Z, because that's the way it works. Yeah. So yes, I am going to be doing the Turoks. So I can even get words right when you remind me often enough how to say them. But I'm going to do these sails and the flag in orange as well, and then put something on them over the top of the orange. So I just need to do that in something. I might just use the Troll Slayer. It's quite a nice orange to go for. And we have the people to finish off with as well. I did, what did I do? I finished off the legs, the little, oh, one of these was missing a bit of gold, wasn't it? I remember now. Yeah, so I tied up the gold that I was missing, and tied up the little bone spurry bits on the legs. So they're almost done. Down here we've got the little hanging things, which again are almost done. The skulls just need some weathering, and the little hanging knife. I think I need to do something with the little work on that, so I'll leave that out for now to touch up on that later. The guns I think are pretty much done, apart from some weathering, so that can go to one side. I've got my water pot here ready to go, the new and improved Citadel water pot, and I've got a selection of paints, of which I've got more paints over here behind me. Fox is getting all emotional. He's being proud and putting in ampersands for some reason. I think he tried to do a big smiley face, but he didn't. He's laughing about bone spurs. That's what they are, the little spiky bone things that come out. I'm sure it must be. So, orange for those. That's the first thing. And then I can continue from there. So, I'm just going to get a big fat brush. No, I'm going to use a tiny brush and get it straight out of the pot. No, I won't get it straight out of the pot. Sorry, it's alright, Fox. Calm down. Calm yourself, Fox. Calm yourself. I have a medium-sized brush that I shall be using to transfer into my wet palette, which I've just created specially. 5 minutes ago I made a wet palette. Again, it doesn't take any time at all. It's just a bit of moist tissue and some parchment paper on top of it. Easy to do and well worth the time and effort to do it, because it makes things much easier. Especially if you're mixing up a custom colour, you can then keep it for blooming ages. Fox does say to keep it in the fridge, but I just put this little cover, it's like a plastic pot that's not even airtight, but it keeps it for at least a week. I used the same paint the week after, just by having it sitting on the side there. So yeah, you don't need to worry about anything special on that at all. So I'm going to add several generous brush spoonfuls in there, because I'm going to be doing quite a bit of this. I don't want to run out halfway through, because that'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? So make sure you put the lid on properly, because, you know, there you go. Jerry's in, thought he was showing his face, so hi Jerry. Yeah, nobody else has come in just after that, it's fine. Sorry Bones. Hi, hello Sergeant Bones. I saw you there, I did, I saw you. Right, let's get rid of my brush, put it on the side there. I think that's what these little dimply things on the side are for, because you've got the bit over here, oh, move that, the bit over here about sort of sharpening your brush and getting rid of moisture from it, but you've got these two ridgy things around there. I'm pretty sure that's just so you can rest your brush on it, like that, because it'll work. Because I'll do that, because that, you know, why not. So then I'm going to use a big fat brush just to cover that in orange, I think. Let me, before I do that, find one of my patented holdy things. Little foam block, just gives you something else to hold on to rather than that. Jerry's having trouble finding Dad. He can't find your channel for some reason. I can't select you by pick currently. I don't know. I'll let you sort that out amongst yourselves. So I'm going to get some paint in my brush. Now, because this is a wet palette, that thins it automatically, so you can see it's coming on quite thin, except where it's turning round. I didn't think this through. I might need to hold it as well, because otherwise it's just going to rotate, isn't it? Let's see if that works. So I'm going to need a couple of thin coats to get this covered. So we get that side done, and we do exactly the same on the other side. Just slapping it on there. I reckon this is some sort of fabric that's wrapped all the way around there, so I need to do the back side of that as well. And obviously the edges. Get that covered over there. Right, then I can leave that to one side until that's dry in 10 minutes or so. Then I can give that another coat. So I'll move that over there and continue on with the sail. Now this is a bit more tricky because obviously I don't want to paint the spines. So what I'm actually going to do is use the big fat brush and just give it mostly a covering, and then I can go in with a smaller, finer brush with me goggles of seeing on to make sure I get into the edges. So, how you all been? Are you all okay? I know most of you have been watching Fox's stream this afternoon, so I'm, aware that most topics of conversation may already have been used up. But if you've got anything worthy of note or question, anything to ask or to observe, or to shout at me for doing wrong or saying wrong, Fox, by all means. This is, I say, nothing without you lot, basically. I haven't got any fancy Amazon links or anything for any of you, but don't throw things around is my tip for the day. I do still have some of my stickers. If you want any of them, give me a shout. I can't be doing competitions and things all for that sort of stuff, so if you want a sticker, let me know and I'm sure I'll be able to sort that out for you. Let me put that to one side for now. Let's have a quick look. There you go, Fox is putting in links and things for Mike's scaly models. John's in. Hey Chris, hello all. Hi John. Thanks Fox. Hi John, and hey, right, that's it. Caught up to chat. That's easy. Yeah, Fox is saying you might want to remove your email address from the chat unless you want it to be openly public. Yeah, this is obviously an open live stream now, although once it's finished it won't be public live, it'll only be for my patrons. So it's not a terrible thing to, if you don't want to remove it, or don't, it's not going to be widely spread. Unless I get hundreds of new patrons, which is, possible but unlikely. Right, let's see, that's almost dry, put on the edge. So I'll leave that a little bit longer before I go in with that again. I'll leave my brush on the convenient brush thing. Now you can't use two at once, that's a design flaw there. You can if you go across the edge like that a little bit. Right, there we go. Scale Model Muse is in. Hey all, hi Muse. How's everything for everybody? What was I going to do? Because I can do them, but I can't do them until they're dry. I was going to make sure the dudes and dudette are okay. Yeah, I don't think I really want to do much more with them. I did a little bit of facial detail with them before, didn't I? So, yeah, the backpacky areas I might do a little bit of sort of steel dry brushy wear on. Let's see what I've got. I've got some silver here that I can use. I have a little bit of silver onto the top of my palette, which is where the wet palette really comes into its own when it's a homemade knocking around everything, because the top of it becomes a dry palette. So I'm going to get a different brush. I'm going to use this, again, fairly big brush for that. I've got a tissue there. So what I'm going to do is get some paint on the end of the brush and get rid of lots of it on a bit of tissue there, and then when there's almost nothing left, we can just run it over the high areas here. It's probably a little bit heavy still, but that's okay. I'll go with that. Perhaps a little bit around the top there as well, just a bit of the start of weathering, just a little bit of wear, perhaps on some on the knees where wear might occur on some of the black bits of armour, some of the high areas, some of the wear areas. Just to break it up a little bit, really, more than anything else. So yeah, that'll do that. Same with this, really. Again, just so getting rid of a little bit more of it this time, I think. Not sure how much of this is actually going to be visible, A, on camera, and B, when the build is finished. Don't know how much of this is actually going to be, you know, seen. But it's the little touches. It's the little touches that ground it. I've been doing the what have I been doing? The U-wing decals today, as well as playing a little bit of Red Dead. And it really is the decals. I love doing decals. They make a kit much newer. Not newer, realer. Make it look less like a kit. Tiny little details that you can just, you know, put on in a matter of seconds. It just sort of grounds it, makes it all a little bit, as I say, realer. That's really the feeling that I get from a kit with a nice few decals on it. It makes it look a bit more realistic. Okay, there we go, that's another one done. As I say, I don't know how much of this is actually coming out on camera, but I can see just some little edge pieces just brightened up a little bit. Right, let's see. Oh, Fox is retracting things now. He always tells people not to retract things, we can laugh at him, but I can't see it. He's saying the word is realer. Okay, yeah, sounds about right. Aviad's in. Hi guys. I didn't see you on Fox's stream. Is that because mine's better? You just wanted to come and see me rather than sitting on Fox's stream? Because, you know, yeah, I'm sure that's the reason. No need to say that. That's fine. We all know it's true. Don't want to upset him while he's here. See, Aviad was asking if Fox got his camera working. He did indeed. His camera was working, his microphone was working, everyone could see him. It was great. Well, it happened. Right, that's one more to go. There we go. Yeah, Fox says he used it for today's stream. It might have been a slightly better image. It might be slightly updated. It's interesting. I've actually ordered one. I've got one coming for myself. Again, the same as this one. Same as the one Fox had and has. Just after Dad and Si very kindly bought one for Fox, because he's broke just after the Black Friday sale when they were really cheap. They went really cheap again for no apparent reason. So it was worse than you just missed out on a good deal, guys. You just missed out on 2 good deals and got right in the middle of it. So sorry about that. But yeah, I decided to take advantage of another one of Amazon's deals and picked up a second one, because this is the one that I use for normal sort of face cam live streaming. I thought it'd be useful to get another one in case this one breaks. It's nice to have a spare, just in case, you never know. and to not have to play around and move the camera to get the bench cam view. So although I don't plan on doing, you know, the 2 cam setup that people do, it was just for convenience and not having to move it, and the fact then that I would have a spare for the all-important face cam. There you go, just touched in the little details on that. Hopefully you can see those at least a little bit. So that's done now, so I'll put that out the side when that's dried. And that's pretty much all the dudes. Just to, I say, a little bit of dry brushing touch up, just to a little bit of interest. So we'll get rid of that. Let's clean up that brush over there. What we got? Fox is saying I can't remember what I said. It must be catching. I used to be better than this, but Fox is right. You say things, but you don't listen to what you're saying, and you don't pay attention to what's happening there. Right, let's see. John says that he should finish the FX Defiant today. Posted build 300 last week. Did the math, just under 2 kits a month for 13 years. Oh, 2 kits a month, so that's basically a kit every 2 weeks. That's not as many as I thought you were doing, to be honest. I got the impression that you did them quicker than that. It seems quicker than that. Not that that's not quick enough, but yeah. And Sergeant Bone says, yeah, they went cheap in the UK, but not in Germany. Building monster, yes. Doing milliput now. Doing the milliput sounds like a 70s dance craze, says Fox. Yeah, I can get down with doing the milliput. Right, that wasn't the first one I did. That was the first one I did. So let's do that one again. Exactly the same as the first coat, but secondly. So yeah, for some reason this is not coming out as orange as I'd hoped. So it's going to take more than 2 thin coats. Don't know. Should we be informing Duncan that 2 thin coats doesn't always work? It's definitely quite orange, but it's not quite orange enough. Go from that side this time. Springy, spring, spoing, spoing, spoing. It's definitely catching, Fox. I used to be a sensible person. Now you're making me make my own sound effects. I think you should come with a health warning. May cause insanity. John says his constant spam posts make it seem like he's doing more. Yeah. Is that orange base paint or a layer paint? He's asking the question now. It says layer on it. Does that mean it's a layer paint? I don't have an orange base paint. None of them ones that they told me to get are base paints. The ones from the app. I'll check. Make sure I hadn't stuffed up somewhere. But it's obviously going over the black is quite difficult for it, shall we say. I just stuffed up a little bit there, so I'm just going to wet that down and get rid of that. There we go. Fox is sighing at me again. What did I do this time? What did I do? Is it because it's not a base paint? I don't read the labels on these things. It just looked like a nice colour. I'm just going to get the last of the paint, actually, which is quite... I should have got a bit more paint out, but as it's not a custom colour, it doesn't matter. Right, I shall check the app and see, because I'm sure I got all the paints it told me to get. It didn't say nothing, Governor, about thingies. Where's my phone? There it is. Layer paint is more transparent as it's layered on top of base paint, says the Fox. which are more opaque. Should always start with a base paint. Well, I've painted it already. I did it in black. Right, I was going paint by colour, orange, and it wasn't that orange. Was it dark orange? It wasn't dark orange. Was it orange flame? That's the one that says troll splash fire and stuff. Yeah, right. So it says use the yellow, the Cassandra yellow as a shade. Troll Slayer orange as a layer, Evil Sons as a layer, and the edge highlight is a Baden black. It says spray coral white, but is that considered to be the base then? Is that, I don't know, because it doesn't say, it just says spray, but I didn't spray. Should I have done a white base really? Base colour will cover the black without 30 coats, yeah. Let that dry, paint the sail with a neutral base colour like tan or grey, then hit it with the orange. Yeah, I'll do that some other time. It's almost there. So right, so I've got to learn, I haven't learned all these paints yet. Retributor Armour says base. Most of the other paints that I've got say layer, apart from the big pots that say shade. I'm sure I've got some others elsewhere. I've got texture. I know you can't hear me so well because I'm leaning away there. I've got some base in red, blue, Death Guard green, and a Baden black. But you don't want me to do black. You want me a light colour base for orange. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Yes, for that colour, the white base coat primer is the best. Yeah, as Fox says, tan or white as a base. Okay, okay, boss. I've started now, so I'm going to finish off camera. But that one's not too bad. That one's a bigger area and is not quite so good. But it wasn't a particular colour anyway, so I'm not. You know, this is all my own imaginings, so it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm breaking something by going against the rules of the Imperious Army Bossman thing, whatever it is. So yeah, I might want it like that. That might be the effect I'm going for if I say that. It'll be yeah, I wanted a textury thing like a flag because it's all textured, like yeah, makes it look like fabric, sort of, if you close your eyes before you look at it. Right, I am going to come back to this again. I'm going to do something with the engines. Now, I didn't think this through, so I haven't got any paints ready for that, but it's going to be something metallic-y, dark metallic. So, let me have a look around. That's quite nice, the gunmetal. Yeah, okay. I have a Vallejo Rust, which is a metallic, but it's really nice. Dad says, learn along a Grossenfox. We should market that. It's learnalongagrossenfox.com. Fox is wise, says Osric. Yeah, Fox is wise, Fox is good. Right, Fox says, that orange in the app is a peachy style paint job. Start with white, shade it and add highlights. I reckon one more coat of that, make a decent dark orange though. Yeah, so I'm going to do that now, or later. I'll let that dry first. And then we'll try again with the orange. I've got to remember that this isn't Tango or something, because, yeah. Right, I'm going to do the engines. I'm going to try and get in with the engines with some rust, because I think that will do it quite well. It feels like I'm going quick. I don't know. It's very strange. Cyril's in, saying hi, you guys. Fox says, I'm not wise. I'm a princess. You can be a wise princess. There's nothing to say that princesses might not be wise as well. Right. I am going to slap in there with a moderate sized brush. Actually, just go on one side for now and just use that straight off to give them a covering. Basically what I can see. Hopefully what you can see as well. Yep, just about. I'm in the middle, look, I'm in the middle without even looking. It's practice, that is. Just to show that sometimes you get it right, just accidentally. Right, so this isn't wildly different to the gold that it's underneath, which is quite convenient, because then that means if I do miss a bit, it doesn't look that bad like I've missed a bit. And I will be dirtying this engine bay up later as well. Let's get that in there. There. Fox says, don't forget to mail Chris for 12 stickers. They're all yours. They're your stickers. Because you won them all on your channel. You got to post them to him. But you can only got to post them, you know, one envelope. It's not as bad as sending 12 stickers to 12 different people. Sure you can get them all in one packet. Right, that's that side. That's basically all that I can see from that side. So then I'm going to turn it around and do the undercarriage. Figure out how to hold it so I can see what I'm doing under there. And just slapping it on. Haven't seen much Ted during the week. I assume he's alright. Alright, let's have a look what we got. Oh, I'll just slap it on. Bones just says, yeah, there you go. Let's see. I think the camera's pretty much the same as where it was last week, but it's working okay for you lot? You can see stuff. Not too far away, too close, too big, too small. Good. I couldn't hear you complain, so I'm sure that means it's fine. Doesn't mean I wasn't listening at all. Get that down in there. There we go. That's pretty much... Nope, that side I haven't got them over there. The other side of that I couldn't see from the first side. There we go. Now these ones move around a little bit, but that's not a problem. They were designed to be moved around in the kit. It isn't that I've done them wrong. You can glue them in place, but I didn't bother, and I don't think I will bother. So it's not going to be a kit that's sort of played with in the game or anything. It's just a display piece, so I'm not worrying about anything like that. So I'm happy with that. Quite good coverage on that for the first coat. Probably won't need to go over it again, actually. Being engines, they're going to be a bit knackered and worn. The rust is different to the gold, so it stands out a little bit well. I'll probably use a bit of rust on some of the blades and things at some point when I do the weathering as well. It's quite a nice rich colour, but still being metallic enough. Right, let's have a look. Tap it on. By the way, it's part of the reason I like the airline. Everything got the same consistency. Yeah, they're very nice. The metallics are a little bit different to the normal paints. They're a little bit not jamming up the airbrush, but they're noticeable when you put them through the airbrush. It takes a bit more effort and obviously more clean up as well. Fox meant as well as his, as he's in Aviad mode today, saves you the time of doing giveaways. Yeah. Nice bronzy colour. Yeah, it's not bronze, it's rust. There is a bronze which is a little bit more brighter, a little brighter basically. Yeah, like a burnt bronze. Yeah, very nice. George says looking good. Thank you very much, George. Right, I'm going to grab a drink because I've been talking for half hour. There we go, sorted. Right. So yes, I'm going to move that to one side again, and we'll see if the Fox is right that one more coat of orange on that will make it work. I'm going to need some more. It's Troll Slayer, wasn't it? Oh, that's my light getting knocked. Troll Slayer orange. Just a load more in there. Straight out the pot. Look. One more. Troll Slayer orange with the big brush. It looks bronzy when it's wet. It does. I'll show you. Let me grab. maybe I won't grab. I did have a bronze, but I can't find it at the moment. It's not on the shelf where I normally keep it. Nope, no idea. Not that one, not that one. I've got to tidy up my paints at some point. They're getting a bit explodey. No, I haven't got a bronze, I've got a copper, which is a lot more like gold, very sort of yellowy gold. But no, I thought I had a bronze, but obviously I don't at the moment. Right, George says I see he's using a wet palette now. Yep, look, it's I got a wet palette. I used the app. I got the right paints for it as well. It's something sink in. You might have to tell me several times, but eventually I do learn, sort of, a little bit. Right. I don't think that coat's going to do it. I think it's going to need another one. I should have gone over the white. Alright, yeah. Yeah. Some of it's gone on a bit thicker. It's quite fine, but other bits will need a bit more. Okay. Or I might go for a off orange. It is a very interesting experience painting over different primers and things. That's where the Model Maker Spoon Hut comes into its own. If you need to practice painting and find out what different effects you can get with different in Warhammer-esque base layers, but in normal painting it's just called primers, isn't it? So yeah, it's quite interesting to see the differences that you can get just by changing. I'm not even using the layer paints, but when you're actually using normal paints from other manufacturers, it still makes a lot of difference. The base colour that you use, except for using the new Vallejo Mecha colours, they seem to go over any base colour with no trouble at all, and you can't even tell what was underneath it with one relatively thin coat. It's very strange. Right, Honourable Making Guru is jamming apparently. I like it with jamming, yeah. Fox says 4 thin coats, yeah. 4 thin coats and then a slightly thicker coat because you're fed up with all the coats and you just want to get it done. Then 1 more coat straight out the pot off camera because otherwise people get cross. Sai says what I personally would have done is a base coat of Rakarth flesh or even a tan colour. Yeah, it sort of might have said to use an air of white for the normal orange when it gives you the list of all the Cassandra yellows and stuff, but I sort of ignored that bit. I can't recall the tan Citadel base. Oh, there you go. And Fox is straight in with Xandri dust. Or that grey colour that I can't remember the name of. You mean grey? I don't know. Celestra Grey, says Sai. That's a light grey base. The Mecha colours are like Citadel base colours. Very dense pigment, very opaque. I think they're probably even more. Reese says jamming like donuts. Yeah, hope you like jamming too. Right, that was more orange. And that was that. Right, Fox, while you're there, did you say, you were saying something last week about the base of these spiky things? I think you were saying about Agrax. You think that will blend them in a little bit better? I think that's the one. But while you're there, if you can just remind me. I'm pretty sure. Because Null will do everything, but Agrax is the one that I think you said just to use. But I won't do anything until you get back to me. I'm sure you will, in momentarily. As soon as the leg catches up and your fingers do the typing on your little keyboardy thing. Right. Yeah, so that's the Troll Slayer Orange is like a mid-orange. So then you got the Fire Dragon as a lighter and the scarlet as a darker. So I assume I can use that to give sort of highlights and depth to an orange. And I'm not sure what the shade does. I think that's just it's like a wash, and it just goes over the top and gives it all a thingy. Right. Summer jamming. So I says, Guru, you can layer white so easily, it's practically shaded for you. Yeah. White's easy, isn't it? White, although painting white normally is a bit of a pain, like yellow and red. They're always the sort of tricky colours. Right. What have we got here? Sire's telling me, if you use Agrax as a layer and feather it up the horn, you get the aged horn look you see on the James Workshop website. Yeah, don't look at that. Give the bone a wash of Agrax, Reikland Flesh Shade or Seraphim Sepia all over. And when dry, paint the tips with Ushabti bone. I don't think I've got that. And I went into the shop, but you didn't tell me to buy Ushabti. I've got one of them. I got the Reikland Flesh Shade, because that was one that Paul gave me a list of things for painting little heads. It was the Canadian flesh tone, and that, and something else, I think. Can't remember. Sure, there was another one. Yeah, another shade, the Caroburg Crimson, which have been quite good. I've been playing around with heads, so I've keep coming back to him. He's my first bust that I painted, and I keep doing little shady highlight bits and low lights and trying to blend him in and get him nice. And today I just started doing Drawn Beam. So again, just mainly Canadian flesh tone, with some slight highlights and things, and the eyes I've just done a little bit of white, because I didn't like the eyes not looking at me. It's a strange thing. Right, so that means layering white over Celeste Grey. Oh, right, Screaming Skull will do. I got that. Look, I got that one. That's what I did him in the first place. Okay, so what were we saying? I should Agrax feathering it up, or just doing it all in Agrax, and then dry paint the tips with Ushabti or Screaming Skull. Okay, so painting it all and then going over it again is the best bet. So what would you recommend? And it seems I have a selection. I have either Agrax Earthshade or the Reikland Flesh. I haven't got the Seraphim Sepia, so I can't do that one. Or there's obviously the traditional non-oil as well. Obviously one's darker than the other. The Flesh Shade is a little bit more reddy. That might come out a little bit nicer. I don't know. What's the word? Canadian flesh tones. Yeah, that's right. That bone colour you have there to the left of the yellow wash. Yeah, the Screaming Skull. Yep. Yeah, I think just... Yeah. I don't know why they don't use gold. The white one. I've got... no, that was the only white coloured lid that I've got. I don't know if it's because it's not because it's a base, because I've got other base colours that are not like that. I've got the corn red. So I don't know why the metallic... Is it metallic that they do in a white lid? I don't know. I need to look. Bismack71 saying, do you paint more Warhammer figures? Not yet. Flesh Shade is the vote from Fox. Canadian stands. Flesh Shade for bone. Yeah, okay, I'll do that then. Yes, Bismack. No, I haven't done any other Warhammer figures. This is my first. Obviously, I've been building models for a little while now, but I've got a Taurox to build that Fox bought me, which will be the next project after this one's completed. Probably in the new year, but by the way it's going. Sire says Agrax is a deeper brown, Flesh Shade is more red. I'd take Agrax. It depends on the bone look you want. So you both give me different advice. I don't know which way. He's changing his mind. Go with Sire Agrax. Right. I'll move that there, and I'll move that over here. Okay. So Agrax, and then I can dry brush over the top with Screamings. Okay, sounds like a plan. I'll do that then. I can slap it on with a big brush, can't I? Because it doesn't matter if it gets around everywhere. I just need to... And this is the question. I want it straight out of the pot, but you're going to get cross with me. I'm going to use it out of the lid. because the lid's not the pot, is it? It's just a convenient little dripper. It keeps it there for you. It saves tipping it out and wasting it. So I'm just going to use it out there, and if you get cross, then I'm very, very sorry, but that's what it's for. I'm sure that's what it's for. So I'm just going to slap that on around where you can't actually see if I've done it at all. It's not really slapping it on. It's fading in a little bit. I can see it a little bit, yeah. I'm waiting for the text to explode and me be shouted at for using it out the pot. But I'm not using it out the pot, I'm using it out the lid. And the lid is there for this to be used. One coat of Agrax, see how dark it is. You can do a second coat if you want the base of the horns to be darker, and you can take shades from the bottle. I can take shades from the bottle! Yeah, I'm going to do that skull as well. And that one. He's told me I can take shades from the bottle, everyone. It's not my fault. I'm allowed. Yeah, I think this is probably going to need another coat of this, because it's not really that noticeable, even not on camera. I can see it darkening it a little bit, but not enough. So I might go in afterwards and sort of add a bit more to the base and not so much to the tip, and then the dry brushing won't be so harsh. Get that one in there. Now, this being quite a dark colour, I think if I do, or where I do, go over onto the other things, it's not really going to show up, so I'm not overly concerned about brushing onto the body. That's fine. I'm going to get these skulls on here as well. I did just stick them in, they're not glued in, but you know, it will just seep into his recesses and make it all just a little bit darker, won't it? And while I'm doing that, I'm going to go back to the ones that I've finished, that I haven't actually finished. I'm going to do those skulls as well. Because you've got to do all of the skulls the same, haven't you? Because they're all the same. You can see it coming through on those a little bit more and pooling a little bit into eye holes and things like that. So that's cool. I'll put a little knife in there now as well. Right. I do appear to be applying it with a yard brush. Yeah, I deliberately picked up a big brush because I know you like that. It's not quite a 2-inch brush like Bob Ross would recommend, but it's bigger than I would normally use. Shade spillage in 10, 9, 8. No, look, no spillage at all. I'm a professional painter, me. Well, I've been doing some paintings before. Fox said, "Oh, have you? Don't." I knocked over none the other day. Oh dear. What did I miss? I need a bottle stay open thingy, Chris. If only I knew somebody that made them. It's terrible. And that's why he needs the anti-spill stay open thing. It's a two-part thing. It holds it, stops you knocking it over, and holds the lid open. Jamie Bones in. Hi everyone. Did it settle in the recesses to bring all the details of the table out? Ariad's asking Fox when he knocked over his Nuln Oil. Was it the normal one or the gloss? Because the gloss one will make it all shiny. It'd be quite nice. Right. What was I doing? That won't have dried yet. The orange won't have dried quite yet. What can I do with the people? What else do I need to do with the people? I'm moderately happy with them actually. I need to do some detail stuff on the little control panel things. So I want some colours. I want some blue as a base, so that would be one little dip of that would be fine, and a tiny brush. I've got a very teeny tiny brush, a 10-0 brush, which is about as small as they get. I think they get smaller, but so I have one loose thread on that, one loose hair. Just trim that off over here. Don't want that spreading paint where I don't want it to be. Alright. I'm going to get in trouble now because I'm going to do this straight out of the pot. But I'm going to put my glasses of seeing on, so you might not be able to see what I'm doing anyway. So that'll be fine. So, yes, because I'm just going to do literally a touch on one of the little control button things on the... I'm just going to do the little protuberance that they have down there in the blue, and then they have a bigger protuberance which I'm going to do in another bright colour. I'll go for a green, I think. I'll see if I find a nice bright green. Got to be careful painting her protuberances because, you know, actually she hasn't got the same lighty thing. Let's just put one up there. That'll do that. There we go. Right. Not sure why there's arguments going on there. John's a lost cause for some reason. What do you do? Ah, right. We're blaming Fox for Warhammer things. Sounds about right. It's obviously always Fox's fault. Green. I haven't got a bright Warhammer green. I've got that Death Guard green, but it's a bit sickly. So I am going to move my chat pad out the way so I can bring out the brightest green in the world. Tamiya's light green. It's so green it's almost fluorescent. Aviad says tiny brush straight from the pot, asking for paint to get stuck in the ferrule. No, because it was very, 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 very tiny. It was so tiny it was, yeah, didn't even feel the brush. It's just a touch. It was fine. Trust me. Right, so I'm going to do the same again with the green. God, it's been a long time since I used Tamiya paint. It smells different. You can definitely tell you've got Tamiya paint open. That's a bit... yeah, that's a nice little green that's very visible. I assume that's some sort of life support thing for them or something. That's what it is in my mind anyway. Go on then. What's the Citadel equivalent of this light green? I'm sure somebody will know. Probably four of you will answer at exactly the same moment or something. I'm sure there's a Citadel version of a sort of day glow fluorescent green. A little bit more around the edges of that one. That one's a little bit different. Her armour's obviously a slightly different style because of, you know, girly reasons. That's not right either. Let's get a little bit more. There we go. One little blob, that's all it takes. Right. Tamiya paint smells like victory, says John. Reese is off. Good night, Reese. Thanks for popping in. Fox says that green is crying out for a Plymouth Hemicuda. I don't know what that is. And Sire suspects Moot Green. Dad always said I will never buy or do a Gunpla, and then Fox made him. Yeah, but you haven't done it yet. You bought it, but you haven't actually done it yet. You haven't even started on it. Fox says, not sure, but if you want a very bright green, Vallejo Escorpina Green. That's insane, apparently. Escorpina. Sounds Spanish, but then again, Vallejo does as well. So, right. Moot green probably, yeah, everyone's saying moot green. Let me app it again. We'll have a look. Oh, there's a colour thingy, isn't there? That's a point. Let's see. There's a choose a colour thing, isn't there? Paint by colour. Use the camera. I'll use the camera and I'll point at the green. It's a bit dark. Oh, that's not. Right, let's. There you go. How's that? How green's that? Choose a colour. Find matches. No close matches found. Okay. How about if we go like that? No close matches found. They don't do one. There's green. Ghostly green's a bit sort of pale. Moss green, drab green, green. It doesn't tell you to use any, you know, then. I can't see a green on there that's particularly bright, so yeah. Don't know what moot green is, I'll have to have a look. Fox is asking, have I watched the Taurox painting guide yet? Nope. But I haven't started it yet, so I've got to finish this. I don't want to get confused by finishing this. I want to paint by colour, but I want to type in a colour. Is there a search thing? There must be a search thing. Inventory. That you can search in the inventory. Let's search for moot. Moot green is a layer. Oh, and it's not quite as bright, but it's obviously the brightest that they've got. Yeah, that's a good suggestion. Thank you. You both win. Moot green. Dad likes looking at his Gunpla. He's even got a nice LED for his Gunpla from the Puffin Master. Yeah. And you're too late. I've already gone to the inventory, and as you'll see, not the colour guide to see what greens there are. Yeah, I did that, and I typed it in, and it came up, and it's quite bright, but it's not quite bright enough. But yeah, they give just that little bit of detail on there. So I think the dudes and dudettes are basically done. I should give them some sort of like a weathering wash. So is that Agrax? I want to use my Agrax, you see, or Null Oil, just to sort of blend it all together. Or the flesh shade again. Got to do that again on the skull, on the horns now, haven't I? On their horns, I could use the flesh shade to begin with. Yeah. Right. Well, they're okay. I don't need to do any more on them. I can put them out the way again. Put them out of their misery. I'm not going to do any more on those two. They've come out quite dark, quite nice. Happy with them. The ship itself, yeah, they're darker, but I don't know that they're dark enough. That skull, it's got a couple of patches that I didn't really intend for it to have, but I'll dry brush over that again with the screaming skull. Although that's sort of where the spike's gone through it, sort of a crack, so I'll go with that. That'll do. Yep. If you want stupidly bright colours, Scale 75 brought out a new set of fluorescent paints. Ooh, bright as you can get. Yeah, like glow in the dark. Yeah. And John says Null Oil solves everything. Yeah. Try not to cringe when you master off with decorator tape and then brush paints. Is that me? What? Who? What? Just typing that. Oh, it must be the other guide that you were talking about. Cy Reynolds, if I recall correctly, where I see the box in the photos Fox posted of you guys' e-models. Get us some Joris Engineer in it. Limb movements are great. Oh yeah, the new Zaku that's being done. Yeah. Fox says you have to be generous with shades. Can't be doing little arty-farty delicate layers. Slap them on. Is that the rule? Is it? As about Vallejo metallic green, not after metallic. It was purely a thought thing. It wasn't a that that was the green I had, so that was the green I used. I just wondered if there was a bright one. I don't have a metallic green. I've got metallic reds and blues, but for some reason I don't have a metallic green at the moment. But no, I'm happy with that. It's some sort of like indicator light or something. So yeah, I shall put down my tiny brush, because otherwise Fox will get cross. I'll add some flesh shade to the bones on the people. That was the way to do it. So I'll use the next brush up, not a tiny brush, but not a slap it on brush, because I only want to get into the bone bits. So I'm just going to touch over those. As you say, putting it on quite heavy, but not letting it go everywhere, because this is more about shading the bone rather than the armour that the bone's on. Not too worried about the little bits on the legs, they're hardly visible at all on those. And these will just sort of pull at the bottom of the spike, and I think add that little extra depth. Shades, big round fart brush, blob it on, huge success. Yeah, but yeah, when I'm shading the whole thing, yeah, but when I'm just shading the spikes, I don't want to shade his whole shoulders, do I? No, this is all about just shading the bone spurs. When that's dry and I slap it on all over it, that'd be the time to use the big brush, or just dunk the figures into the pot. Pretty sure that works as well. Just got that one up there as well. There we go. He had, there you go, a couple of these have got bones going through their lanyardy skirt things as well. Let's get them weathered up a touch as well. There we go. Right, Fox says, mind if I send you my email to pass on to Dad? For some reason he's having trouble finding him, but yeah, you can always let it come to me as well. I can pass it on, not a problem. But yeah, I'm sure you'll sort it out. Slice says, you have to meet Peachy someday, Fox. You two get on like a house on fire. What, you mean lots of running and screaming and people running away? Yeah, probably about right. Fox says, as a lazy person, I appreciate Peachy's fuck it and spray it white and shade it method. Yeah, spraying it white would have been the way to go on the flags, but you know, too late now. Right, so that's that. I shall have another coat of these, I think. That had long enough to dry, didn't it? So I'm not going to do that skull again, because I'm happy with how that one's come out. Definitely want to do that, especially the tops of these spikes, because the tops are going to be the bits that are more visible. There we go. Slapping it on a bit more, just to please everybody that's watching. And down there, I don't think I got him last time. And making sure I get in these guys, don't want to get them forgotten about. Looks like they're already a little bit forgotten about. Right. Live by the shade, die by the shade. Is that a Peachy quote? Is it? I've watched a few, but not all of them. I don't know if there's some that I haven't watched that are any longer. The ones I seem to be catching and glimpsing are just like almost like 5 minutes sort of. We're going to do this. There you go. I've done it. I'm hoping I can find something a little bit more in depth for me to get into a little bit deeper. Ah dear. Right. Yeah, so I'll give them another minute to dry off, and then I'll just have a go with, I don't know, did we decide Earthshade or Null for the people? I'm thinking probably Earthshade, because that just, it seems, Null's just a bit black. It's a little bit browner, because they're already black, so I don't, you know. More shade, more, yeah, yeah, there'll be more shade. Which one, Null and Oil or Agrax Earthshade, for just dumping the entire people on? PG is awesome, but it's static frenetic. Frenetic? What's a frenetic? Do you mean frantic? Frantic. Sure you mean frantic, but you know. Sai says, if you want an in-depth Warhammer TV video, watch the Arcanon painting guide. Okay, thank you. I'll keep an eye out for that one. I'll have a search for that later. I don't know what an Arcanon is, but it sounds interesting. I don't know. I like, this is a nice one, and the Taurox is just a tank, isn't it, basically. I like the ghosty things. I don't remember what they're called. Yeah, the Wraith ghosty things. I like them. So it says they may have done a long one for the Nurgle Great Unclean one as well. Yeah, it's not so much about the painting of a particular kit, unless I go and watch when I go and watch the Taurox one. But it's just more about the techniques and things, because Fox gets cross when I do things wrong. And if I don't do them right, he won't paint me a Warhamster like he promised. Zadster's in, evening all, evening Zadster. Everyone's saying Agrax, so that's the one I'll be going for. Don't know. Well, we both spelled it wrong. I don't know what that means either. We both, or be both. Yeah, okay. Zadster says he likes the ghosty ones as well. Yeah. Dave at Butchering Models, or Butcher That Model. I can't remember. One of them works, one of them doesn't. He's been doing lots of them, although he's not putting videos up at the moment of them. I've been seeing some pictures of them being completed. I like the look of them. A lot of them I like because the modelling of them is great. You've got like a huge thing and it's being supported by one little strap of fabric that just happens to be touching the ground. It's really good. And Fox is retracting things because he spelt it wrong and he doesn't like, yeah. It's only because he cares that he gets cross. Oh, isn't it sweet? Right, Arakon's a leader of the Dark Elder, so it's the same thingy as this, but this isn't, or is it 40k? I've got the box here. Yeah, this is 40k as well, so this is the same as the tanks, isn't it? I think. But there's 500 bajillion techniques in the Araknon build. Arachnon. It must be some sort of spider. Don't know. And Fox likes little nurglings. Well, whatever takes your fancy, Fox. That's fine. So I'm going to use a big fat brush. I'll get a bigger fat brush. That'll make Fox even happier if I use an even bigger brush. I use an even bigger brush and Agrax Earthshade straight from the pot. We go. Fox is saying, sorry, I thought you meant Tracon. You're all talking about different things now. And none of them mean anything to me. It's all just stuff. I don't know. Right, I am going to have to hold these somehow while I'm basically covering all of them in washy stuff. So, let me get some standy things ready. There we go. That's that. So I can just pour it all over. No, I won't pour it all over. Middle class typing nonsense. Akion. Oh, he's given up. That's okay. And Sai says you knew what I meant. I didn't know what any of you meant, but don't let that worry you because I don't know. Right, I'm just slapping this on with a big brush. There we go. So this is a sort of just a finishing wash, just to make sure everything gets covered. So when he's hanging off the side of the ship, it doesn't look wrong. There we go. One done. Next. Another one there, let's hold him by the gun. Pop. Right. I've had to put a link up for Warhammer Weekly something or other, but I can't tell. I'm not going to click on it now because I'm sort of here. What is that? What's that? Should it be something that I should know about? Is it going to help me? There we go. Slapping it on. Just getting them coloured. 2 done. Next. Right, something about Ever Chosen. I'm going to have to grab him by a foot. Ghost Dude's a night haunt for Age of Sigmar. That sounds familiar. Sigmar. That's not 40k, is it? That's different. It's probably like 3k or something. I don't know. Yeah, there's different to 40k, isn't it? Less Ks, definitely. There we go. 3rd one done. This shade stuff's a laugh, isn't it? Doesn't take any time at all, does it? I'll hold him by his little computer thing that I've got attached to the gun soon. Apparently nobody's able to type that word without anyone mistyping it. I don't know what word you're trying to type, so I can't tell you what's what. And I've just noticed that I didn't do his hair. I was going to do his plume in a big bright colour. I'll come back and do that another time. Now I've just covered him in shade. You can have bright hair and then I can touch that up again if I need to, or it can just stay bright over the top of the shade. Right, what's happening? I don't know. Something about my oh my. Si's putting a link for Games Workshop, but I can't see any more of it than that. Night Haunts and Banshee are ghostly. Chain rasps too. Yeah, the ones with the chains that just one chain will be touching the floor, and that's enough for them to support the entire kit floating. Looks lovely. Probably really difficult to paint, and I'll make a complete arse out of it, but they look nice. So, that's these, just covered in a shade of Agrax Earthshade. It's sort of like a slightly red Nuln Oil, just to make everything blend together a little bit. And I didn't knock it over at all, even once. Look, Fox says, don't hold back with that shape, be generous. You can paint back over the stuff to bring it back later if you need to. I was slapping it on, did you not notice? There was definite slappage going on there. I can always do it again when it dries as well, but I can't go over it again while it's still wet because I'll just be wiping it around and moving it off again, wouldn't I? Did you not see the size of the brush I was using? That's not being non-generous. That was, yeah. Look, it's massive. It's bigger than my hand. Right, spoopy. Yeah. Muse says tiny stuff is rough to paint, but if you take your time, it turns out nice. Yep. Nice Agrax washes there. Good lad. Thank you. Oh, ghostly stuff are easy to paint. Airbrush the hell out of it. Some edge highlights, and you're done. I like the sound of it even more now, I must admit. You're selling me on it. Not going to let it go that he spilled now. I didn't spill, look. There's none spilled. It's just there. Look. Fox finds painting little things oddly relaxing compared to painting big things. Yeah, I mean, all my things that I paint are tiny things, really, aren't they? So, yeah. Right, so I'm going to do the little bit of rusting that I said I was going to do on some of the metal work, the blades and things like that. Let me take the gun off. I don't need that on there at the moment. Private white and shade. Yeah, No airbrushing here at all. I still don't mind airbrushing things. The gold and black I airbrushed. I don't think I could have got that fade going from the metallic gold to the metallic black without airbrushing it. Even though it's the first time I tried that, sort of just heavying and lightening up. But I wouldn't have tried brush painting that. That was, yeah, a little bit tricky. I did on, what did I do it on? Her spear. I did the same effect, or tried the same effect as I did on the normal spears, using the Lapia Mermaids, the medium, and it worked, but it's not quite right, but it did work, sort of. Right, so I'm going to be using this Rust Vallejo paint again, but I'm going to be sort of dry brushing it a little bit, getting rid of most of it, and just sort of letting it cover bits heavier in some places, and perhaps where it will build up a bit more inside the grooves and the notches. Just dirtying down all of the blades a bit, and the hooks obviously as well. They can, just so they're not quite so bright and shiny and new, so they're a bit used. Same as the blades itself. It's not such a uniform, plain, boring colour. Give it a bit of character. I'll add a bit of rusting, sort of downwards weathering as well, in a later stage. But just adding a little bit of something here and there to all of it. I don't know if this stuff would rust. I don't know what it's made from. It's obviously not real metal. But it's like I was saying earlier about decals, just a little touch here and there grounds it, makes it all just seem a little bit more real. I didn't do the front, did I? The front's going to be a bit heavier, I think, especially on the edges. And then I'll go over that highlighted rune thing in a silver, again, like I did on the people. Because that definitely needs to be a little bit more worn and knackered. There we go. Just get that in there and that. Alright. Talking about PG method as well. Warpler is freedom. I don't know what's Warpler. Is that like Gunpla but for Warhammer? See, I'm getting to know the terms now, that even if it's terms that you've just made up. Some more of that on the other sides of these. And the other sides of those that I didn't get last time. Getting there. It's very much getting there. I've been enjoying this. It's different to what I normally build. Obviously it's a larger scale or a smaller scale, depending on who you ask or how you look at it. But yeah, it's been good. I've enjoyed it. It's not finished yet, but it's getting there. I'm sort of getting towards the point where it's starting to think about that Turox. So yeah, the videos for that are in my line of sight, shall we say, for perusal. I'll just get this one finished and then I'll come and see if anything's been happening in the chat. I know you do alright without me, you don't need me there to babysit and read everything out, but gives me something to do while I'm waiting for paint to dry. Otherwise it's just like I'm sitting here painting my own, put something on the telly or something, but it's nice to have your company and advice more than anything else on this build, because as I say, it's not something that I've done before or researched or anything, so I've got no clue about any of it or how layers and shades and things are meant to work. So it's great to have your pooled knowledge available to me. Right, let's put that down. And let's see, while I'm washing out my brush, Fox just made something up in his great brain. I probably missed it, but if I didn't, then I'm sure it was amazing. Quickly, Fox, trademark it. Muse says, check out Sonic Sledgehammer. He's on my page faves. Sonic Sledgehammer. It's an interesting name. Right, talking about Nighthaunt Glooms. A way to get a heated metal effect on the flamer. Paint it Balthazar Gold, 2 coats of Agrax, then dry brush over the Retributor armour, then a careful dry brush of light bright silver. Demoed it on one of his live streams, but he can't recall which one. So just go back and watch them all, and then he'll tell you about that at some point. This hasn't got a flamer. You must have been talking to somebody else about something else, because I'm pretty sure this has it got a flamer? I don't know what. I don't know. If it's got a flamer, tell me which bit's the flamer, because I don't know. Right. So, what did we do? What did we learn today, children? We've started the weathering. I need to do the silver on that, and some proper weathering to the engines, and sort of something probably null oil related to most of the rest of it, just to dirty it up a bit and give it a bit of character. The people have been pretty much finished. I'm quite happy with how they've come out. I do want to touch up the bottoms of the feet. I'll give those a coat of black, because some of the gold seeped over onto them. But other than that, they're looking quite good. I'll move that back out of the way so we can see what I'm dealing with. Oof. Right. Yeah, I'm quite happy with them. They come out quite well. A little bit of touching up here and there, some tidying up. Especially his head needs a little bit more tidying. But all in all, they're looking like people. A little bit on the bones, I think I need to brighten up a little bit, like I do on the ship itself. But all in all, it's nearly there. Oh, the other Chris is here, Chris Campling. Hello. Which thing you lot on about having a flamer? I don't know, I missed that as well. So I don't think it was this one, but I don't know. The trick is to leave the muzzle end still dulled. Muzzle. Not nozzle or muzzle. If it's a flamer, it could be a nozzle. Still done down and brown from the Agrax, but the other end of the muzzle bright and shiny. Right, oh, it's the Astra Militarum dudes. Militarum. I can never tell if you spelt it wrong or if I'm not reading it right. Dudes with flamers, so nothing to do with this. I don't have to worry about it then. As long as it's nothing that I have to worry about, then I'm more than happy to ignore it. So that's the gun from the front, which again is pretty much done. I'm not unhappy with that. Yeah, the flags, obviously, as I say, need more work, another coat or two, or three, because I didn't prime them in white. but I'll do those off screen, off camera later. I'll touch up the edges as well when I'm getting closer. My plan for those is to probably leave that as the orange. That one's going to have some sort of symbol or something on it, which I'll figure out for next time. Yeah, the sail, I don't know, maybe freehand something in there. What I really want is a nice little, you know, a Warhamster Sunday logo that I can put on there that somebody might, yeah, but no. Yeah, so that's that. That's pretty much as I'm going to be able to do today. I think that's an hour and a half, which is pretty standard for my streams. Fox seems to be having some very strange times with his keyboard. I'm not entirely certain what he's doing. I don't know. Avier's typed something to Fox that it's asking if it's there. We can show that. I don't care. I don't know what it is. So yep, you can have a link there. Look like dragon wings. Yeah, it's the sail for the barge itself. It goes on there like that. I'm pretty sure it's got engines. I don't think it needs a sail. I'm sure it's some sort of decorative thing rather than an actual necessity. Right. Yeah, fair point. Might get delivery in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, Fox, you've got delivery tomorrow and Tuesday. Yeah, you'll know they're from me because, you know, they're direct from Amazon from me. But you'll know, trust me, you'll know. They are sort of birthday presents, but you can open them early. It's not a problem. I don't mind. You might not want to open both separately, or you can do what you like. If you want to open both separately, go for it. If you want to wait until they're both in on Tuesday, then obviously that's an option for you as well. There's only a couple of things in there. Don't know if it's worth you filming, but film and see. But let me know what you think anyway. So I'm going to call that a day. Thank you all for coming along and watching my, you know, rubbish stuff. Chris is hoping to get the R2 delivery soon. Yeah, I'm waiting on delivery of R2, which isn't the finish. I've got one more to go after this. This is 93, 4, 5 and 6. So yeah, Jerry says Jar Jar. No, I didn't send him a Jar Jar at all. No, it's practical stuff, sort of. But yeah, yeah. As ever, this video won't actually be available for viewing later. If it's here, then you can obviously watch it now and rewind it and watch it. But the video, as all of the Warhamster Sundays, are exclusive to my patrons. Once they're not live anymore, basically. So this will be going into the archive, and yeah, Fox says he'll wait till Tuesday. It'll be like, how did you get Amazon to stick Jar Jar pictures on the box? It's amazing, the things you can do when you sellotape £5 notes to your emails. Thank you all for watching, and hope you've enjoyed it, and stay tuned for next week. So it'll be on the same link, because that's the live link. It sort of works. It's great. Be really good. Obviously today is Sunday, so tomorrow there's the e-models where me and Fox from the chat and Ted will be on tomorrow night. Then we've got Thursday is my evening with the gang. Hopefully a few of the gang will come in and we'll just hang out and chat for, again, another hour and a half. And then it'll be next Sunday again, back for another one of these. Yay! Right. Happy birthday for in the week, Fox. I'm sure we'll chat before then, but yeah, now everybody knows, so yeah, there you go. Have a good week. I'll try and figure out how to close this stream. I haven't got a finishing thing. I've only got a starting thing or a be right back, but I'm not going to use that. So this is just going to disappear. So as ever, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you all on the internet during the week. Bye bye.